Hey G Suite administrators! Your data is vulnerable to phishing and ransomware attacks now more than ever. Leading security vendors have observed a 667% spike in COVID-themed phishing attacks since the end of February 2020 that seems to capitalize on the general anxiety among all of us about the pandemic. Invariably, most ransomware attacks start with a phishing attack, and a single phishing email and a careless employee are enough to derail your entire business. So, we rounded up 11 essential Gmail security settings that all G Suite admins should care about in order to safeguard their domain from phishing and ransomware attacks. In this video, we will give you an in-depth walkthrough of one very important setting in the Google Admin Console that you can put into practice right now. If you really like what you see here, we documented the rest of the 10 essential Gmail security settings for you to download, and the download link is available in the description. So let's get started with the setting. Here's how you can turn on end-to-end guaranteed email encryption in Gmail. But wait, you may ask me, why is this setting so important to configure? How does it help? Let me tell you why. If you just rely on SMTP to encrypt your email messages, it just doesn't deliver on the promise. While SMTP encrypts messages, the encryption is first initiated by an unencrypted message, start TLS, that attackers can tamper with. One way an attacker can tamper with SMTP encrypted email messages would be by changing the recipient's email server address, MX record, and redirecting encrypted emails to the attacker's inbox where the emails are unencrypted. Thankfully, this loophole can be plugged. Gmail now gives you the option to configure SMTP MTA strict transport security protocol that plugs this vulnerability. So what is MTA STS? Here's a rather boring definition that I'm going to read out. MTA STS is a mechanism that instructs an SMTP server that the communication with the other SMTP server must be encrypted, and that the domain name on the certificate should match the domain in the policy. It uses a combination of DNS and HTTPS to publish a policy that tells the sending party what to do when an encrypted channel cannot be negotiated. In other words, configuring MTA STS addresses the fundamental flaw with the SMTP protocol and definitely gives your Gmail security an upgrade. Let's now do a deep dive on how MTA STS works. After the MTA STS has been turned on for your domain, whenever there is an email from an external server, it will check for the existence of the MTA STS DNS record at the domain found in the sender address. If the DNS record is found, the sending MTA will fetch the MTA STS policy file over HTTPS from the web server, after which the email will be received. Let me now show you how you can set up MTA STS using your Google Admin Console for your domain. First, I'm going to show you how to check and create an MTA STS policy. Log into Admin Console and click on Apps, G Suite, and select Gmail from the services listed. Click on Advanced Settings. Navigate to MTA STS under Compliance section and click on Here. Copy the suggested configuration and save it in a text file named mta-sts.txt to create MTA STS policy. Copy the TXT record for later usage. Create this new Gmail account. Copy this suggested configuration for later usage. Now let's see how you can publish the MTA STS policy. Log into your web server and set up your domain with public web server. Add a subdomain to your domain with a name starting with MTA-STS. Right-click on your subdomain and select Add Virtual Directory. Create the virtual directory named .well-known. Upload the policy file you had created in the previous part into the .well-known category. To verify if the MTA STS policy is public, click on your virtual directory and hover over Manage Virtual Directory and select Browse. Add the MTA STS policy file name mta-sts.txt in the URL. If your policy file opens, it means that your policy has been successfully published. Let's move on to enabling MTA-STS and TLS reporting. Log into your domain host and select your domain. Click on Manage. Click on Manage DNS. To turn on TLS reporting, 1. Add text record copied from Admin Console. 2. Select .txt from the dropdown. 3. Name host as _smtp._TLS. 4. Paste the suggested configuration of Reporting Policy Diagnostic, copied from the Admin Console in Part 1. 5. Click Save. To turn on MTA-STS for the domain, 1. Add TXT record copied from the Admin Console. 2. Select .txt from the dropdown. 3. Name host as _MTA-STS. 4. Paste the suggested configuration of MTA-STS TXT record diagnostic copied from the Admin Console in Part 1. 5. Click Save. Now check if MTA-STS policy is turned on in the Admin Console. Log into Admin Console and click on Apps, G Suite, and select Gmail from the services listed. Click on Advanced Settings. Navigate to MTA-STS under Compliance section and click Here. As you can see, the MTA-STS policy is successfully enabled. If you followed all the above steps and succeeded in setting up MTA-STS for your domain, give yourself a pat on the back and head over to the link in the description to download our in-depth article that has detailed instructions on 10 additional security settings to keep your G Suite domain safe from phishing and ransomware attacks. Thanks for watching.